Hi guys, it's Paula from PSN Creations. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're returning. Today is a flip through of the little golden book for puppies junk journal that I made. So traditional size junk journal, traditional size little golden book. Seam bind closing that is removable. Metal bookend corners added to each of these front and back cover. And then some seam binding, not seam binding. It's lace trim, vintage lace trim on the spine. This is a 2 signature. What is that? Okay. I kept the original spine, so it is 2 signatures. You can't see the golden spine there, and the original back as well. I don't cover the inside of my journals unless something really is wrong with it. So the front and the back inside are the original spine. I add reinforcement, and then I also add a layer of some type of fabric. This so happens to be cute puppy fabric. So the last thing that I will mention is the book itself. The pages are in order, so if you wanted to still read the 4 puppies, then you can still read the entire story. I always start with the first page of the little golden book. Junk mail or envelopes I love adding to my junk journals. Most of them have them. There may be some that I don't add it to it, but I do like adding. A paw print stamped on this copy dyed envelope. Cute journaling tag. This is a food box that I recycled. Added a book page, a napkin, did some stenciling, and then this is a fussy cut of an image from a shop that I got off of Etsy. We have vintage music paper. We have coffee dyed paper, tea dyed paper, avocado dyed paper, dictionary, vintage dictionary pages. So this is just what I'm going to call a messy ruffle that I made using vintage fabric. I stamped the word wolf. Okay, on this side, I added just this note card that says thanks a lot and has a puppy and a kitty. It's blank, and this is just draped over and paper clipped a French English dictionary page. Just basic white writing paper. Some vintage late fabric here as a tab. More coffee dyed paper with a little dog stamp, and it just says dog. And this is the first page where the story actually starts. I had this vellum that said pretty please, and I thought it went well because when kids ask for a dog or ask for anything, many times they're like pretty please, so I thought it went well. This is a page from I can't remember the name of the magazine. Good Old Times, I think it was called. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. And on here, I just sewed on some vintage lace. Paw print stamps with little bone stamps here. Reproduction invoice. Vintage ledger page that is blank, page 49 and 50. The story continues. This is the middle of the first signature. And then we start with our first bonus pocket. We have 3 bonus pockets in each signature. This one I had it's called Pago. I think it's either from the 60s or 70s. It's a book of comic strips. And I just grabbed a few strips that had comics that included a dog. And then I stamped the word D-O-G, dog. I just thought it was cute. It's a journaling card. Used a masterboard, and then I thought it was something different and unique. The ledger page, the reproduction invoice. This is just a vintage library card that goes, with the library index. And then this is just a index card that I stamped the word wolf on. And on this side is just a bunch of dog-themed stamps. Again, just a little extra writing space, and that's on there with a little paper clip. This came from a nursery rhyme book, and I just liked how he was reading the newspaper and glasses on, and I just stamped on here, all you need is love and a dog. This page here that's folded over is also from that same book. And again, I just like the images. So this one you can actually read the poem still. This one, the poem is cut off, so you wouldn't be able to. And that's just draped over and then paper clipped on. Did a little bit of stenciling right here. Some of the pages I thought needed something extra, so I just did a little bit of stenciling. And the story continues. Here's our second bonus pocket. This is another master board that I just did a little bit of stamping, and then I did come up with my colored pencil. I colored in the dog, left the bones white, and then the dog house. This is fabric upholstery fabric that I just glued on there and then sewed around, and then some writing paper on the back so that you can write, and a little sticker of a dog. While this journal has dog themed to it, this journal can be an everyday journal for anyone that loves dogs. It doesn't have to be a journal that's used necessarily to memorialize or document dogs in your life or that you've had in your life. It can definitely very well be used as an everyday journal if you just like animals, and if maybe dogs are maybe your favorite animal. Here's some vintage lace that is ruffled. Sorry, this is vintage fabric that is ruffled, and I just glued it on this page. Just lined paper with a little sticker of a dog. Here's the other side of the of the French English dictionary. A little bit of washi tape here that has some animals on it. A little stenciling right here that I did. This is a modern library pocket and card. The card is blank. You can use it just as a pocket and add something else if you'd like in here. And then right here I did stamp two dogs together, and then I just colored them in with my colored pencils. And the third and final bonus pocket of this journal, of this signature, sorry, is this one here. And I just added some vintage ephemera. It's a Yahtzee scorecard, a flashcard, a word card. I think this is vintage too, but I'm not 100% sure if it is. And then this is just a page from a book that I've just pulled out. The dog was making a phone call, and I love the old style phone too, so I just added it in there. I thought it was cute. Have a little bit of fun with it. Second signature, we start off with the story continues. Here is a coffee filter. I added just a vellum bushel of daisies. I think those are daisies. I could be wrong. This is a vintage envelope. It's a vellum envelope. And inside, I just added a piece of scrap coffee dyed paper for you to do some writing if you'd like. And I had laminated some leaves last fall that I picked up from my neighborhood. I just thought it went well with this because there's leaves here. I know it's not fall. It doesn't have to be fall. There's leaves year round. Some of them just so happens that sometimes, well, there's not leaves year round all the time everywhere, but these are fall leaves because the color changed. And on the other side, I added some sunflowers here. It's a vellum sticker, and again, a laminated leaf. I loved the color of this one. And then another index card that I just did a little bit of stamping and stenciling on. So writing spot for you. If you choose to use it in this journal, you can use it somewhere else. A little bit of stenciling right here. Here's another of that old time magazine that I had, a page from it, and had a dog with his family. This is a vintage curtain that I did a messy ruffle with. I call it a messy ruffle when I just glue it on the page versus sewing it into a ruffle format first with my sewing machine and then gluing it onto the page. So that's why I call it a messy ruffle versus just a ruffle. This is another reproduction invoice. On this page here, I just added a tag that I created. This one has coffee dyed seam binding. This is just a lightweight cardstock single-sided that you can use to do something. This is a Traveler's Salesman. I think they're like receipt cards. So what they did that day, they had to write how many hours they worked. Well, this was Sunday. I think it's August 1st, 1964. he didn't work. So he did 0 hours. And again, I just have it in here so that you can have fun with it. Use it in this book, use it in a different book, use it however you'd like. The story continues. This is another junk mailer pocket that I made. So using a junk envelope, just added a little bit of ephemera here that I had from a magazine page and some vellum roses. You have a flashcard, another flashcard, and you have a time card, a vintage time card that you can spruce up, alter, and have fun with. This is colored, food colored, green food colored music sheet, vintage music sheet. A little bit of stenciling right here. This is a kids dictionary page, so it's smaller. This is a more modern ledger page, blank. The story continues. This is the middle of the second signature, sorry. Middle of the second signature. I love the layout like that. I just love having it like that. Instead of adding papers, I always try to leave this as the middle. So it's a focal point of the journal as well. Here's our first bonus page of the second signature. I love this journaling card. So it was a master board, and I just layered a few things on there, and I think it turned out spectacular. The back is covered with a lined paper that had been coffee dyed, and then the pan that I dried it on just made these lines on it. But I love this tag. Or it's not a tag, journaling card. The other side of the modern ledger and the kids dictionary page. Again, a little bit of stenciling just to add a little bit of pop to the page. Lots of writing space in here. Here's a music sheet. On this side of the music sheet, we have another tag that I made. Just did some stenciling and some seam binding here that's been dyed with some Tim Holtz spritz. A bingo. I don't want to call it a card because it's more like a paper. It's very, very thin. And then this is a prescription, vintage prescription. 1943, I believe, the prescription. And again, this is just paper clipped on here. These paper clips are cool too. They have little stars. I don't know if you can see them. Is that too close? So you have a few of those that will be part of this. Some stenciling here. I just thought the little stenciling that I chose to do, which was just like flowers or foliage, just went really well with the book too. Second bonus pocket. In this bonus pocket, this is from, I believe it was a Times magazine, if I remember correctly. I can't recall, but this was a story. Now, you might not be able to read the entire story because hindsight, I didn't realize that I had cut off. I should have just cut off a little bit more over here and then kept the words over here because I'm pretty sure I didn't cut that much off over here. So you're not going to be able to read the whole story, but it was an appealing short story of an old man and his dog and of jewels that money cannot buy. But if anything, you have the cool image there as well, the black and white image. And that fits nicely in here. And obviously there's writing spot here too. These are single-sided lightweight cardstock that I use to make my bonus pockets. They're perfect because they're single-sided. Sometimes we struggle to what to do when they're single-sided because they're white on the other side. And they're lightweight, so it's perfect. Here I just added a vellum flower. Reproduction invoice. Here's the other side of the page of that Old Times magazine. I added some vintage lace here that I sewed on. A little bit of stenciling. This was the vintage fabric that was made into washi tape using double-sided tape. Stick with Jess on Whatnot. I purchased it from her. So I thought it went really nicely and I just went with it. Here I made a mistake and so I had to correct that mistake. So I had to use that same, it's also vintage fabric that was made into washi tape. I just used a little piece there to correct a mistake that I made. And then this is the last page of the journal as well. And it's actually a bonus pocket. I like this one because I thought it kind of looked like a newspaper, ad or newspaper. And you know, dogs, they like or don't like newspaper. They do their business on newspaper. Sometimes people used to roll up the newspaper and scare them with it. I never liked that, by the way. But in here, I have some art postcards, vintage art postcards, and each one does have a dog in the image. So we have that one, and here's the dog here. And then you have this one, and here's the dog here. And then you're also going to get another page of the Pago comic strip book. And again, this side doesn't have, but this side does have the little doggy who's a firefighter. I just thought it was cute. I just thought it was cute. I miss comic strips. Those were so much fun to read on Sunday morning. And that's it. That's the end of the journal. If you are interested in this journal, I will have it listed on my Whatnot shop in my Buy It Now or Marketplace, whatever you want to call it. Interchangeable, in my opinion, the terminology. Well, actually, no, the market is available at all times. The Buy It Now is usually just available if it's associated to a show, a specific show. So I'll have it in there for anyone that's interested with some pictures as well. But you've seen the video, so ideally, you've seen everything that the journal has to offer. All right, guys, thanks so much, and I will talk to you guys on the next video. Bye.